Wanting more answers, I contacted EM Systems, the company behind the ankle monitors used in Caddo Parish. The owner, Shelby Cage, spoke with me over the phone and said in part, "My deepest condolences go out to the family." Cage says that once more information becomes available, he will answer all of my questions. The Caddo Parish District Attorney's Office released a statement to us saying it extends its sincere condolences.
Questions are being raised about if this tragedy could have been prevented.
"48-year-old Rochelle Lewis was a vibrant, outgoing, and loving woman, best known for her deep devotion as a mother. Her children were her world, and she would go to any length to ensure they had everything they needed. Rochelle had a warm, spirited personality and loved spending time with family and friends, always bringing joy and laughter wherever she went.
I look bad. 20 years later. Huh? I look. Let me close my closet so you can see.
Though incredibly strong, she had faced her share of life's challenges. In search of a new beginning, she recently returned to her hometown of Haynesville, hoping to create a better future for herself and her children. But despite her efforts, the past was not so easily left behind. A tragic chain of events was about to unfold, changing the course of their lives forever. Just after 8:30 p.m. on July 1st, police responded to a residence on Spring Drive, following a chilling 911 call from two distraught teenagers. When officers arrived, they were met with a chaotic scene and made a grim discovery: an unresponsive adult female found in a back bedroom.
Learning new details about a tragic scene in Haynesville that unfolded earlier this week that ended with...
Inside the home, officers discovered the lifeless body of 48-year-old Rochelle Lewis in a back bedroom. She had been shot 10 times and was sadly pronounced dead at the scene. Rochelle's 13 and 15-year-old daughters had immediately called 911 after witnessing their father, Shamarcus Lewis, murder their mother in front of them. According to the girls, Shamarcus entered through the front door, walked straight to Rochelle's bedroom, and moments later, they heard multiple gunshots before he fled the scene. Law enforcement soon located Shamarcus's vehicle traveling along Interstate 20 in Webster Parish. A high-speed chase ensued, culminating in a 10-minute standoff. The situation ended when Shamarcus was shot in the head. He was airlifted to a nearby hospital and remains in critical condition on a ventilator at Oxnard Health. Rochelle had recently returned to her hometown of Haynesville, hoping to rebuild her life and provide a safe, stable future for her daughters. Her estranged husband, Shamarcus Lewis, had been under a court order to stay away from her following a previous domestic violence incident. Court records reveal a disturbing history. In November, Shamarcus was accused of repeatedly rear-ending Rochelle's vehicle with their children inside. He was arrested and charged with domestic abuse, aggravated assault, and child endangerment. Despite a judge's order and a court-mandated ankle monitor, Shamarcus was able to leave Caddo Parish undetected and walk straight up to Rochelle's front door, where he ended her life in front of their children. When questioned about the effectiveness of the ankle monitor, authorities explained that the device was not an active alert system. Instead, it merely tracks compliance with curfews and location restrictions after the fact, a sobering reminder of how imperfect such systems can be. Now, Rochelle's family is left grappling with unimaginable grief and unanswered questions. How could a system designed to protect victims of domestic violence fail so catastrophically? How could it allow a known abuser to cross jurisdictions unchecked and commit such a horrific act? Once again, two young children are left to grow up without their mother, all because a man chose violence over accountability. Another life stolen, another family shattered, because the system meant to protect them simply didn't.
Raquel Lewis had just returned to her hometown Haynesville, trying to rebuild her life and protect her children. Her estranged husband, Shamarcus Lewis, had just been ordered to stay away by a judge after a domestic violence incident. Court documents show Lewis is accused of rear-ending Raquel's car several times last November while their children were inside. He was arrested and charged with domestic abuse, aggravated assault, and child endangerment. According to Haynesville Police Chief Anthony Smith, it was just after 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday when Raquel's daughters, ages 13 and 15, called 911 from inside their home on Spring Drive.
They told me basically what happened, that was able to identify that their daddy came through the front door and went back to the mother's bedroom where they heard multiple shots, and he left.
Minden police spotted Lewis's car on I-20 in Webster Parish. He led them on a high-speed chase.
He wrecked out. It was a standoff for over 10 minutes, and he did self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. We are keeping updated on him in the hospital right now.
Chief Smith goes on to say Lewis is hooked up to a ventilator at Ochsner LSU Health, where he's in critical condition. I then asked Smith how come Lewis's ankle monitor didn't alert authorities he left Shreveport.
The ankle bracelet is not for alertness. Basically, if he's on house arrest and he's supposed to be in home at, say, 10 o'clock, they can look back and say 10 o'clock. Now, the system is not a fail-safe system at all.
Wanting more.
The heartbreaking story of Rochelle Lewis highlights a critical and painful lesson. Systems designed to protect victims of domestic violence are often flawed and inadequate. Despite court orders, charges, and monitoring devices, abusers can still find ways to inflict harm. This tragedy underscores the urgent need for stronger protections, better enforcement of restraining orders, and more reliable intervention tools. It's a call to action for communities, law enforcement, and the justice system to take domestic violence seriously, because when the system fails, it can cost lives.